Hey everyone, welcome back to Urban Informatics and Modeling, and this is Josh, and today we'll be covering about the modeling part, especially about sketching and initial design and initial ideation of your design. So there are several ways other than paper and sketch. I'm currently in my iPad, and if you have an Apple Pencil, that is great, and if you don't, you probably want to buy one, and I do recommend some sharp-tipped stylus like Adonit. It's quite cheap. It's cheaper than the Apple Pencil, but if you do have the Apple Pencil, and it's really great to use it. So the first apps that I want to talk about is the Autodesk Sketchbook. So Autodesk Sketchbook is really just like a raw sketchbook, as you can see here. You can have like a perspective diagram, so you can have like the perspective drawings, and then you see here that I'm sketching with other things. You can have a text like so, and then diagrams and with colors like so, and then you can have like a grid, draw styles, mirror, ruler and guides. Like this is a curved ruler. It's like so, protractor, like an ellipse shape, and then you can select and move and copy and like so, whatsoever. But there's another software and apps that I want to talk to you about. So Autodesk Sketchbook is free. And the next one that I want to talk to you about is this one here, which is called Folio Trace. So Folio Trace is not really free. If you're free, you only have like limited features. But if you pay for it, it's only for the pro version, which is about $30, $28.99 per year. It's really a bargain, and it's really useful for architecture and especially students. It can do like AR, a camera, 3D model, maps, real life maps, and you can just rescale those maps to suit your project. You can have like PDF, like editing PDF. You can have like folders and filing system. So the difference between Folio Trace and Autodesk Sketchbook is really substantial, because Sketchbook is more to like a raw drawing similar to Procreate, but it's a free version of Procreate. But for this one here, it's specific for architecture, and I can show you what I mean. So if you go to, I can show you what I did here. In here, this is sort of like the overall sketch plan and like the site analysis of the Dandenong project that we're doing at the moment for the homeless people. So the way that the system works in Folio Trace is similar to like Yellow Page. So you put like a Yellow Page on top of the initial on top of each other. So you see that here I have the map on real scale. You can see the scale bar on the bottom right, and the north arrow besides of it. So you can have like a scaling, and then you can rescale it according to your site. So for example, if you know the length of the site here from the red to red, it's about, for example, 52.5 meters, 52.5. So you can just go to project settings and set scale. So you can have the input like that and like that, for example, and then you just input, for example, 52.5. I'm not going to do that because at the moment it's already in the correct scale. So you can do that in Folio, and it's really useful because sometimes you need to know the exact scale of your drawings, and you can do the architectural drawings here, right here in the correct scale. So it's really handy, and I think it's better. I think go ahead and try it. And the way it works is just similar. The layer is sort of like usual Photoshop layer, which is going on top of each other. But this is sort of like doing it in an architectural way. So for example, if you add a new layer, you can see that it's adding like a yellow page. So it's reference to the famous yellow tracing paper by architects who use it. And you can add another one, and it's always full to your screen. So if you zoom out like that, it's going to full screen, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. So sometimes it can be useful, but sometimes it can be tricky and annoying. But if you get hang of it, it's really easy to use. So in the left bar here, you can have various types of pen. You can have this is a ballpoint, this is a felt pen, a pencil, a marker, a highlighter, and this one here is sort of like a crayon. It's like a crayon, like so. And then you have like different colors, color theme, custom colors, and palettes. and then you can have like an eyedropper just to like a Photoshop eyedropper, normal eyedropper tool, and this is the line weights. So the colors beside the line weights, it doesn't have to do anything with the colors of the pen. I can show you, for example, if I select the colors here as black and I select the 102.4 as the line weight, it's still going to show black. So the colors are not colors. The colors in the pen, in the size of the pen, it's not really a color. It's more like a color coding just to show that this color refers to this size of the pen. Right, so moving on, this app also have like 2D perspective drawings. And the good thing about this one, if you, for example, if you do like a 2D perspective drawing, it has a guide. So this sort of like acts like a ruler. So if you draw it like that, it's going to keep on the same axis, like so. And you can actually take this off by turning off the guide, and you can have like free drawing, like so. But the really handy thing is that when you free draw it like that, it maybe not adhere to the guide that it was strictly adhering to the guide, but it's strictly adhering to the grids, because it's going to help you in creating like a straight line perspective drawing. So you can see that I haven't done it before, but you can see that there's some other examples from more Folio Trace, because like so, this is sort of like the perspective drawing, like an example from more Folio Trace from the app itself, just to see how the 3D perspective drawing 3D drawings can be worked on. So you see here, it's based on this layer, and then just colorization, and then you can have stencils of people, like the ones here. So there's a feature called stencil in here, and there's a lot of other features like for example, beeline, grid lines, this sort of thing. And this is how I do it and this is how I draw the first initial sketch plan. This is all in scale. This is a good thing about it. So if you don't believe me, you can have a ruler, and the ruler is on scale at the moment, so it's in meter. And that door is supposed to be in 1 meter, 920. There's a standard door, and that's sort of like 920. So it's a really good thing here, because you can have like a sketch drawing, but all in scale without any help of a ruler. So everything here is not it's not by ruler, and then you can have a protector that has different kind of configuration. So you can see here it's a 30 degree, but you can change the angle to something like 45 and 60. It's really handy in some other cases. And then you can have a protector like that. It has a possibility to ellipse, and if you want to return back, you just tap towards the center, like so. So it's a really good tool, and it's a really good apps. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you is to have this kind of function, which is the hatch function. I show a little bit of different from the previous one, because this layer is not working for some reason. I haven't really know what's going on. I'll have a check on that. But this function over here, which is the one that I just tapped, it's sort of like a hatch function in AutoCAD, but it gives like the area directly in it. So for example, if you wanted to show the area of this room here, and then if you want to add another area, just press that, and you can have like a total, like a total calculation right over here, and then just add another one, and then just add another one over there. So you can see it's a very handy tool, and it's sort of like, it's really architectural based, and it's really useful for architecture. And I think you want to make sure that this bar here is on the right track, because I think I know just now what's the issue with the previous one. It's sort of like showing it like that. It's sort of showing the whole thing, because if you do it in 100%, it's just going to ignore everything inside the plan and just straight calculating everything. So let's test that theory out. So just delete this, that, and that. Change that back to that. Just reduce it to around there. There you go. So this percentage here shows the amount of area that's going to be calculated. So it's similar to in Photoshop, like feathering and tolerance in Magic Brush tool. So it's a really good handy. It's a really good tool, and it's a handy tool to just to explain directly to the client how much area do they get, and it's a very good tool because it also has like a 3D powerful 3D and augmented reality, so you can have the experience of the space directly from your iPad. And I do hope that you have a try on it, and I do recommend, if you're an architecture student or if you are a professional at the moment, work on this. Try to have a look on this app, have a look at the software, and I do recommend you to buy it. And it's really good, and I do recommend to buy a stylus, like for example add on it, just to test this out. And hopefully that's informative for this software, and I do see you in the next one. Thank you.